I want to comment on this story, which first I thought it was a bad taste April's Fool joke. It's about a young woman who lives in the Netherlands and she will be euthanized in early May if nothing changes. The Netherlands or Holland is a very progressive country. I'm not interested in showing her name or publication. If you really want, you can look it up, but here's a few comments. The first comments that are upvoted. As a therapist, this breaks my heart. It can get better, says a woman. I wish they offered this here. I'm exhausted, says another woman. I completely understand and respect it. It's so hard here, says another woman. And another woman, women commented mostly or got upvoted mostly. I wrote a paper for a psych course several years ago on death with dignity. A few years after that, my life partner ended his. While he eased his suffering, he passed it on to myself and my daughters. Now, what looks crazy is that in 2022, euthanasia comprised 5% of deaths in the Netherlands. But of course, we have to be a little bit reasonable. And I registered in Statista, but it still doesn't give me full access. We have access to the data from Canada, which is also very lenient and allows assisted suicide, euthanasia. So you see that the vast majority of assisted suicide happens to people over 55 years old. Now, is that making it better? I would say a slight bit, yes. And the dark blue is natural death is not reasonably foreseeable. So a small percentage of people asked to be killed, asked to help end their lives because of psychological problems, if I understand that correctly. And regarding those people, I mean, many of those people actually just commit suicide, especially men who have the tenacity and the aggression and the violence to actually manage to complete a suicide. And look how the medically assisted suicide numbers increase from 2016. It has 13 times more, 1,000, 13,000. So presumably, best case scenario, those 12,000 people might have killed themselves by suicide instead of assisted suicide. Like, oh, this is a more humane way to do it. But no, it's not as simple as that. It's not as simple as that. And what would I say to the people who have very serious mental health issues? I think that any and every psychologist that says there is nothing more we, collectively, as therapy professionals, not me, there's nothing more we can do for you, it's never going to get any better. If anyone spoke those words verbatim, if anyone gave that conclusion, that assessment, I think they would have to lose their license immediately. Immediately. How the fuck do you know that there is no person or there is no process that can help her? How the fuck do you know? If you and your colleagues cannot manage it, fair enough. You don't have the skills, you don't have the experience, you don't know the right trick to address that case. And it may be the case that no one in the world does know. But how are you so confident to assert that? If anyone said that to her, they should lose their license immediately. And furthermore, what I would say is that I have a strong suspicion that both the victims, the patients that suffer those intense mental health issues, and the therapists that genuinely try with their good heart and with their best skills to help them, and they fail, may be victims of the over-permissive, over-affirming world and mindset that we are fed. And of course you can dismiss what I say because I'm not a therapist, but they have nothing to lose. The first thing I would do with that person, give me those people, and I'm gonna tie them up on a chair if they resist, and force them, keep their eyes open to watch a disgusting amount of lectures of Jordan Peterson. A disgusting amount, until they start vomiting and have a mental breakdown. And I would be willing to bet pretty much anything. I would be willing to bet my own life that some, not all, but some of these people would be saved, would not want to kill themselves after they go through this experience. And just to seal the deal, give them a hallucinogenic trip with ayahuasca or LSD or, I don't know, just get them to trip the brains out. There is interventions. Are they drastic? Yes. But drastic problems call for drastic solutions. And the fact that we call watching a disgusting quantity of Jordan Peterson a drastic solution is already telling to the kind of world we are living in. But that would be my very easy recommendation. Very easily, I would recommend that to every single person who suffers mental health issues. And indeed, many have been saved. this video was not supposed to be a plug for Jordan Peterson, but it's the immediate thing that comes to mind the moment I see incompetent losers allowing other incompetent losers kill themselves, helping other incompetent losers kill themselves. And this is a victim circle. Everybody is a victim in this story. Nobody wins. Also, the sane people around them, they don't win. Remember what that woman said? While he eased his suffering, he passed it on to myself and my daughters. He didn't ease his suffering. He was not eased. He was killed. He died. You cannot feel relief if you are dead because you cannot feel anything. You cannot feel peace. Rest in peace, we say. Rest in peace. You don't rest and you are not in peace. You are nothing. You are literally nothing. Except maybe your heritage. At least that guy had 2 daughters. Now, how are they gonna cope? How much trauma his death gave to them? I don't know. It's a lose-lose situation. And it's healthy. Imagine what would be the alternative. That woman that says, I completely understand and respect it. It's so hard here. Right? So if my father, who is physically healthy, has some mental problems and depression and says, you know what? I'm out of that shit. Should I be like, yeah, good for you. Go live your death. Live your truth. Die your truth. I don't know. Die your fucking... See? Is that a healthy attitude? Is that woman's comment a healthy attitude? I completely understand and respect it. No. Hardship shouldn't be a reason to die. Hardship should be a reason to live. And ironically, all these people who kill themselves are so sensitive to hardship because they didn't have it presented to them in a productive way, growing up or developing, and of course maybe they were violently traumatized. I don't know every person's singular story. And I'm not a therapist, but fuck you, neither you are therapists. If those words come out of your mouth, you're ignorant. And if your profession is to be a therapist, you should be completely disqualified as fast as possible. Is this an opinion? Yes. Tell me how else could it be? Tell me, if you are a therapist, or if you know therapists, what would you make out of your favorite therapist, somebody you respect, saying, you know what, I had a case and then I realized that none of the therapists could ever help that person mentally, and so it's totally okay and maybe better for them that they chose to kill themselves. They're confident enough to make this statement that this person cannot possibly be helped either by therapy or by some other intervention. Would you respect that? I don't. I absolutely do not. And that was the video. Thank you so much for watching.